All right, best gear of the year for gear and grooming. Hey everyone, I'm Dave with Beast Made Reviews, of course a channel dedicated to reviewing quality at different price points, and welcome to my Beamer Awards. This is where I award the best gear of the year. Today we're going to be talking about everything gear and grooming related. Now I get to try a bunch of stuff in the year, and these are the cream of the crop. These are what I consider the best gear of the year. And of course, before we get started, if you like this type of content with gear, EDC, fashion, anything in between, anything cool, I think you really like it here. And of course, I'll have links down below to all of these products. Those are affiliate links and those will help support the channel, and so I always appreciate it when you do that. Thank you so much. All right, now let's go ahead and get straight to it. Now, the first section that I have here is going to be a lot of guitar stuff, and then I'm going to go more into grooming at the end. So the first ones that I have here are some guitar strings. Now, I did a video a while back at the beginning of the year that went through and kind of A-B'd all of the coated strings that I could find. The ones that surprised me the most were the D'Addario XT and XS, and the XTs were the ones that I actually eventually put on my Parker Fly. What I noticed is there was a little bit less sub bass on there, and maybe a little bit of the high highs on there, but had all the core frequencies that you're looking for with guitars. And then the intonation was actually incredible. But for whatever reason, the intonation just works incredibly with the XT strings on my guitar. So those are the strings that are just going to stay there forever now. The XS were also really cool. They just sounded a little bit different. Next are the Dragon Skin strings by DR. DR makes really good strings as well, and I thought it really enhanced a lot of the kind of harmonic content of the guitar. I thought the sound was really lively and rich, and so I liked those a lot too. Next were the Elixir OptiWeb. Now, the OptiWebs were not ones that I played with a lot on my guitar. Usually I reached for the NanoWebs and not the OptiWebs. I found that I liked the OptiWeb sound maybe a little bit more. There was something about it that just had maybe a little bit more clarity without being too harsh on the high end as opposed to the NanoWebs. The NanoWebs just have a little bit more of the kind of harsh highs on there, whereas the OptiWebs keep them a little bit more natural sounding. All right, and last were the strings by GHS. Their coated boomers really surprised me with how bright and punchy everything was. I really liked that sound, and so it really kind of just made the guitar sound a little bit more aggressive, and I like that a lot. The Sub-Zeros had a kind of similar flavor, maybe a little bit different, but they felt a little bit different. The Sub-Zeros are also cryo-treated, meaning that there's not really a coating on there, but they freeze them at some kind of sub-zero temperature. I'm not really sure what they do, but that kind of helps with the life of the metal and the strings from corroding as much. I don't know the whole science behind it, but those sounded good too. Again, all these changes from string brands are subtle, but whenever you play it, you can feel it and hear it. Even if the audience can't, you can, so it makes a difference to you. All right, next is a bass from Fender, and this one is the Ventera Mustang bass. Now, I haven't done a full review of this, but I wanted to get a bass just in case I needed to make some music or overdubs or do something with that here. The problem is I just don't like a lot of basses out there. I'm not a bass guy in general, so some basses just don't speak to me. But the Mustang bass was something that I really liked. It's a short scale bass. The neck on it feels almost like just a thick guitar neck, which I really like that too. But the sound is really my favorite part. I really love the sound of this. It has a great warm sound with some clarity on there that doesn't sound too bright or too bassy. To me, it just sounds perfect. That's what I love about this. All right, and the last few guitars here are from PRS. And you knew this was coming. I featured a few guitars from PRS on the channel, and some that I got that I just haven't featured yet. The first one was the PRS SE CE24 Standard. Really long name, but this is their cheapest model that PRS makes. And what really amazed me the most about this guitar was that it didn't feel cheap, and it didn't feel like any less quality than their really expensive ones. It didn't feel maybe as refined as some of the nicer, more expensive ones, but it didn't feel cheap. You can tell they still spent a lot of time on this one. And as far as PRS guitars go, this was one of my favorite that I got to try this year. And that says a lot because I played a lot of their expensive ones and their cheapest one could still hang in there. So that was really cool by itself. It had a really great sound. I really like the SE line, and I especially like the SE pickups coming from them over, I think, the American pickups. I think some of the American pickups just aren't as good. Maybe that's a hot take. But the CE24 Standard is incredible. Love it. All right, next is the PRS SE NF3. The NF3 is a weird guitar. It looks weird just looking at it, but I love it. It is a kind of Strat-like sound. It is a kind of Strat-like guitar, but with some refinements that I think really make it better than some Strat alternatives. Some people aren't Strat guys, and I totally get that. I'm not a Strat guy. I usually play a humbucker-equipped guitar or a Telecaster. Those are my main guitars. Strats to me are too specific, but this one was really great because everything was super balanced across the spectrum of pickup ranges. There's no hum in there. It has a very similar Strat-like sound while being balanced, and it can still kind of get in the humbucker range if you push it a little bit. So I like that a lot. This was a great guitar. The color was incredible, and this one really surprised me. All right, next is the PRS CE24. Now, I'm doing a video comparison that I'm going to release in the future, so I'm going through some of the PRS line. I got this PRS CE24, and I almost kept it. I got this one from Zounds, and Zounds is a great company. You can go there and check them out, but they sent this to me and loaned it to me. I almost kept it just because of how beautiful it looks, and I almost still regret it. It was an incredible all-natural color on the top there, and it is probably the most beautiful looking PRS I've ever seen. The aesthetic arrest was serious. Played great, felt great. Okay, so yeah, I do regret this guitar now. The CE24 is a bolt-on guitar for the PRS line, and I love it. I think that is a great guitar line. I really like how streamlined everything is. I actually prefer the CE24 over the Custom 24. I know, again, another hot take there. And this one was easily the best that I've seen. All right, next is the PRS SE Swamp Ash Special. Again, another one that I didn't show on the channel just yet, and I got this one. This was one that was released fairly recently. Swamp Ash body, and it has 22 frets on there with 2 humbuckers and a single coil in the middle. Great sound. Love the color on this too. The color was incredible. The stain looks so cool. Love it. And the sound was great too. The SE pickups really do well in this. The only thing I wasn't keen on were the 22 frets. I think 22 frets are great for single coils, but not for humbuckers. It just kind of muddies up the neck a little bit. And I kind of got a little bit of that in this guitar, though the ash body and the neck pickup does pair well with this guitar. You kind of get a little bit more of that kind of warmth and extended low end just from that pickup placement. But it was an amazing guitar, and this is one that is super versatile with that middle single coil pickup. I really like this one a lot. And the last PRS guitar that I have here is another one I almost kept. I have to read this one because it's a long name. It's the PRS SE Custom 24 Semi-Hollow Piezo. This is the newest guitar currently in the PRS SE line. It's also the most expensive one in their SE line, but it is incredible. It is incredible. Easily one of the best PRS guitars I've ever played. As you can tell from the name, it is semi-hollow and it has a piezo pickup, and that really made a difference with this guitar. But the overall feel and the response and reactiveness to the guitar itself was amazing. I really loved playing this guitar, and I did send it back. It's on loan. I'm currently making a video about this, but it was one that I almost regret. It was a beautiful blue guitar, and you'll see more of this coming. All right, next is a piece of camera gear. I didn't buy a lot of camera gear last year, but I did buy a new microphone. I bought this one right here. You can't tell, but I have a new shotgun mic that I've been using. I was using an old Rode video mic from years ago, and I wasn't particularly fond of the way it sounded, so I wanted to get something new, and then the cord broke, and then so I had to get something new. So I got this one, and this one is the Rode Video Mic NTG. Now, I tried a lot of expensive mics as well. I tried some from Sennheiser and some from Japanese brands and some cheaper popular models just to see what worked best in my voice. The expensive mics were nice, but the sound still wasn't as nice for my voice as this one was. I'm looking for a specific thing when it comes to my voice. The mic on this just works the best. I'm a big fan of Rode. I really like Rode a lot. And this one has other features that I really like a lot as well. Like, it comes with a shock mount, it's rechargeable, and it has an auto turn on and shut off feature. Just automatically senses it from the camera, which is brilliant. And that is a great feature that has really helped me out a lot. All right, next let's go to Grooming. And I've got a bunch from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements with some other companies as well. But let's get to some Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements things. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements is a great company. They have some shaving products there, wet shaving, shave soap, shampoo, bar soaps. They have some of the best I've ever tried in almost every category. So you've got to go go check them out. I'll have some links down below to them, of course. The first item here is the Advent Calendar by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Now, I tried this last year and I had a lot of fun with it, but Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements comes out with an Advent Calendar for 12 days of Christmas, and each day has a selection of a travel shave soap and aftershave from Christmas future and Christmas past. So past releases that they're resurrecting or future releases that they haven't come out with yet. It's pretty limited and sells out pretty quickly, and they made even more this year to try to get ahead of the demand, and it sold out really quickly still, so it just got even more popular. All right, next is Bay Gum by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Now, maybe some people don't know this on this channel, but I have personally collaborated with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements on a couple of different projects, and this one was one of them. Now, they make a lot of great bay rum scents. Bay rum is an old, spicy, aromatic type of scent. They have a lot of great bay rum scents on their site. But one day I suggested that they make one with juicy fruit, just because I tried some juicy fruit one day after not having it for a long time, and something about the kind of clove taste that juicy fruit has reminded me of bay rum. And they made this, and this was absolutely pitch perfect. This is incredible. You smell the juicy fruit and you also smell the bay rum as well. It's amazing. What's even more amazing is that the reception of this scent has been overwhelming. Everyone really loves this. It's an incredible scent. If you like juicy fruit, that kind of bubblegummy type of scent, but you also like something that is a little bit more masculine as well, check this one out. It's fantastic. All right, next is Quasi Perfecto by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This was a casual suggestion I made, maybe in a video or maybe in person, I'm not really sure, to the owner at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. And this one is an homage to the classic Curve by Liz Claiborne. That's a fragrance I really like. It's very unique and is beautiful. I really like how woody and sweet and musky it is. It's just a perfect scent. Quasi Perfecto is a great homage to that, and it smells just like Curve. And that brings me to my next suggestion that I also got with Quasi Perfecto, and that is their car air diffuser. Now, PAA makes a bunch of different products. One of them is just a car diffuser, like a scent diffuser you can put in your car. They have a little sponge on there and you can switch out scents. You can add more or less. You can put it with different scent oils that they make from their line. They have a ton of fragrances. I chose Quasi Perfecto because I like the smell of Curve, so I have that going in my car right now. It's perfect. Next release here is Crab Apple and Newton by PAA, and this one is an homage to an old fragrance from the 80s and 90s by Crabtree and Evelyn, I believe the name is. And that one was a fragrance that was supposed to be reminiscent of the Spice Road, I think. This one is a great scent that is classic and really wearable. It just hits all the right notes for me. I love this one a lot. Next scent is North Meets East. And this one is, I think, a limited release that smells beautiful. It's kind of a sweeter scent that has notes of maple syrup, and I get brown sugar out of it as well. It has just a really rich, nice, sweet scent that is great. I really like that one a lot. Next is Apple Pecan Pie Bay Rum. Now, this is their newest bay rum that they've released in their line, and this one is a banger. This one is so good. Now, there's not as much bay rum in this as some other releases. This one I get a lot of pecan pie. I do get some apple in there as well. And if you like those type of things, you will love this scent. I love this. As someone who likes those kind of gourmand, sweeter type of scents, I am absolutely in love with this. There is a little bit of that kind of spiciness, that kind of aromatic twinge that you get from bay rum. Overwhelmingly, you get that pie, and I like that. All right, PAA over. Let's talk about a couple more things here. The first one is the hair dryer by Brio. Now, Brio is a company I really like. I have their beard trimmer, and it's probably one of the best beard trimmers I've ever had. Their hair dryer is super cool. It's easily the best hair dryer I've ever used. I don't use hair dryers a whole lot. I have shorter hair, so I don't need it as much. And I was really blown away, pardon the pun, with this product. It uses a brushless motor. It's pretty quiet. You can change the heat setting on there really easily, and it is very fast. It dries your hair quickly and quietly, and it's very portable. I love this. It is easily top tier hairdryer for me. All right, and last choice here is a fragrance by Creed, and this one is Royal Mayfair. Now, Royal Mayfair is not new. Royal Mayfair came out a while back and was kind of a remake of Windsor, which was a vaulted fragrance and is a very unique scent. It has eucalyptus and rose and some kind of mintiness in there. It has a musky quality about it. It's beautiful. I love it. It's one of my favorite Creed scents out there. It is so cool and cooling feeling as well. You can wear it with a lot of different occasions and settings. Royal Mayfair itself was actually vaulted for a while, and then they just re-released it for the Christmas season. So I got some recently, and I am thrilled with it. I love this stuff. So that is all I have. What do you think? What are some of your favorites of gear and grooming? Let me know down below. I just want to check them out. And if you want to go see my best gear of the year EDC, go up there. If you want to go see best pins, go up there. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave with Beastmade Reviews. Bye.